Do you think there's a world in which Teo can mentally break Shakur?
No, I don't think so. I think Teo thinks he's some kind of mastermind with the mind games and all that, but I think he's mad as a box of frogs. But no, I don't think he's going to be able to break him, no. He can see what he's going to do before he does it. He shows what he's going to do. Whereas Shakur is a little bit more cute and a little bit more of a counter fighter as well. So that might play into Shakur's hands with him if Teo does end up being a little bit more aggressive. It'll play into Shakur's hands, I reckon. Not really got much power, to be honest. He's quite strong physically, but I mean, he hit maybe some big shots, and I just walked through them. Like he didn't really hurt me at all, you know. So I never felt his power at all. I think I've been in with a lot bigger punchers that I've boxed in my pro game. So I don't think the punch power will be an issue. Maybe the physical strength, maybe a little bit. But apart from that, no, I don't think his punch power, the punching will be a problem for Shakur, to be honest.
Josh Taylor just dropped a brutal verdict on Teofimo Lopez, calling him delusional and explaining exactly why Shakur Stevenson has the edge. And the reason he gives might surprise you.
I think he also spars with Terence and things like that, so he'll be used to sparring with bigger guys as well. So yeah, I don't think the punch power will be an issue.
Sparring with Terence is a bad prep, is it?
Yeah.
Look, one of the other things that's kind of come out recently was Teo was doing a podcast and he was talking about taking opportunities that arise. People were alluding to the fact he was talking about illegal blows, and if the opportunity arose, he was going to take them. He clarified he didn't mean that he wasn't going to, hit below the belt or anything.
Well, you're never going to admit to that, are you?
Is Josh Taylor right, or is Teofimo being counted out too early? Only time will tell. But for now, Taylor, who has first-hand experience fighting Teofimo Lopez, isn't impressed by his punching power and believes it's being overrated. He also highlights Shakur Stevenson's elite preparation, noting his training and sparring under Terence Crawford. According to Taylor, that level of mentorship speaks volumes, while Teofimo's trash talk signals insecurity rather than confidence.
It was almost alluding to, because the way that Shakur moves defensively, he was saying that, the opportunity of the way that his body moved, he might, get the kidneys, or he might get somewhere like that.
Well, yeah.
What do you kind of make of the way that he's alluding to?
Yeah, I agree with that. It might be a dirty tactic, but at the end of the day, it's still a fight. And if he's showing his back, it's there to be hit. Take it. I mean, the only thing that the ref can do is stop and give you a warning and say, don't hit in the kidneys or don't hit here, and you go, right, okay. But by that point, the damage is already done. You've hit him there, the damage is already done. So yeah, why not? It's a fight, you can only get a warning. If he starts doing it intentionally and keeps doing it, then yeah, disqualify him because he's intentionally hitting round the back and stuff like that.
Highlighting Teofimo Lopez's weaknesses, Josh Taylor criticizes him for overthinking and portraying himself as a mastermind, when the reality, in his view, is quite the opposite. Taylor believes Teofimo is heading into this fight with misplaced confidence, thinking he can outsmart Shakur Stevenson. He argues that Lopez doesn't fight at the same high pace or with the same technical discipline as Shakur, and therefore doesn't see him doing well. Backing that view, Johnny Nelson predicts Stevenson will break Teofimo down by the 4th round and potentially stop him by the 6th.
But he doesn't really fight an awful high pace either, and then neither does Shakur. Shakur likes to slowly pace down and make you box at his pace, so I can't see it being much of an issue with that, because Shakur likes to fight at a kind of slower, kind of more technical pace, so I don't think that will be an issue unless it ends up being a dog fight. Then I actually think it will probably favour Teo.
Yeah, because the reason I bring it up was because DAZN always do that on the ground, when they go into camp and they have like a little preview of the fighters. And one of the things his team just kept saying to him was like, bring the pace, it's all about the pace, Teo can't handle the pace.
Pace will be key. You take the pace away from the fighter, you've got him zapped after 4 rounds, and after 5 rounds he's panicking, after 6 rounds he's drowning.
Furthermore, Josh Taylor shared his advice to Shakur Stevenson on how to beat Teofimo Lopez. Having faced Teofimo in the ring himself, Taylor knows exactly how to handle him. He asserts that Shakur's game plan is already tailored to challenge Lopez, and if Stevenson applies Taylor's guidance, he can secure victory even more convincingly. Taylor highlights Teofimo's weak spots, where fear creeps in, and shows precisely how Shakur can exploit them to dominate the fight.
What would be your advice to Shakur going into the ring against Teofimo Lopez, kind of having been there, done that, shared the ring with him? What's the top 3 kind of secrets to beating Teofimo Lopez?
I think, I don't think he really needs to change much, Shakur. Teo actually doesn't like it when you stand off on me, because then Teo's quite a good counter puncher. So Teo then has to then push you, which is not great at. He's better when you're pushing him. So I think Shakur doesn't really need to change that much. I think he just needs to keep his patience and keep his smart, sort of slow pace, kind of slick boxing. I think that'll play into his hands more than Teo having to come forward. So yeah, I don't think he has to change too much.
Adding to the hype, Richard Hitchens, who claims to be the only fighter to have actually hurt Shakur Stevenson in sparring, has shared a shocking analysis. He sees the fight as a 60-40 battle, favoring Stevenson, but he also reveals the moments where Stevenson can be vulnerable. Hitchens' insight is especially noteworthy because he's one of the few who has landed a real shot on Shakur, and he claims Stevenson hasn't fully returned to the gym since. His advice to Teofimo Lopez, based on first-hand experience, could prove crucial when fight night arrives.
I mean, everybody expect me to be like, Shakur's gonna win easily, right?
Well, that's what we think.
Yeah, nah, but I think it's a good fight. I think it's honestly 60-40. I think, obviously favors Shakur. He's the more unbeatable guy because he's hard to hit him, period. Yeah. But Teo also has the abilities to not be that easy hittable. Like he's not just a guy you're sitting there to pick apart.
He's also athletic and defensive at times.
Yeah, so I think it's a 60-40 fight. I'm favoring Shakur. And I don't know how Shakur is gonna win the fight. I don't know what Shakur is. With Shakur, it's all about the danger you could put in front of him. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I do know. If he feel like it's danger and you got his mind thinking and working, you can taint him.
Hitchens believes that for Teofimo Lopez to put on a great show, he needs to bring real danger to Shakur Stevenson. If he fails to do so, Stevenson will operate at his absolute best, take Lopez into deep waters, and secure the win. Looking at the fighter's past performances, Hitchens strongly leans towards Stevenson, citing his last bout as an example of superior skill, contrasting it with Lopez's recent fight against Barboza. He points out how Stevenson surprised everyone with his performance against William Zepeda, and warns that a similar scenario could unfold this time if Lopez doesn't bring the necessary threat.
And make him keep off of you. If Teo can't make him think, if Teo don't got nothing that's like, yo, this motherfucker hurt me, Shakur's gonna have his way with him. So it's all about what Shakur feels in that ring that day.
So in other words, if he does sense some danger, if Shakur sense some danger, it'll be just a different type of fight, but he'll still win.
Right. It'll be more of a, I'm gonna get what I can get, and I'm out of here.
Move.
Yeah.
What do you think about his performance against Zepeda?
He surprised me that day.
Yeah.
Because
but you see him do that in the gym. So why did he surprise you?
Because it's always different under lights. Yeah, it was different under lights. He was sending me sparring clips of him in that camp. Like I was watching, and I'm like, okay, like, all right. But I felt like Zepeda pressure just was different from them guys. Zepeda throwing 100 punches around. Them guys wasn't coming like Zepeda, but he showed up.
As the world waits to see a showdown between a star who has beaten everyone in front of him and an aggressive fighter who has surprised onlookers at times, Sergio Mora also weighed in on why Shakur Stevenson is nearly unbeatable. He believes it will be extremely difficult for Teofimo Lopez to land a significant blow, and while Teofimo has the skill to pull it off, the path to victory will be far tougher than many expect.
Shakur Stevenson, you can't touch him. He's hard to beat. He has a style where it's just like he's like a cheetah from that left-handed stance. I never even seen him get rocked or hurt. That type of style, people will call it amateurish. I just call it complete. If no one could lay a glove on you, why change it? If you're doing it on multiple levels and you're doing it from the Olympics, why change it? You have to become a millionaire that way, and people still can't beat you. The bad part with that is you got to learn how to be the bad guy. So Teofimo's not the bad guy. I would love to see Shakur be the bad guy and start saying, hey, I ain't gonna change nothing. I just win and keeping that zero in my undefeated record.
At the same time, Sergio Mora revealed Teofimo Lopez's path to victory against the highly skilled Shakur Stevenson. He believes it's extremely difficult to beat a fighter like Shakur, and Teofimo cannot rely on sheer aggression alone, as that would play right into Stevenson's hands. Instead, Teofimo must be smarter than ever, combining calculated aggression with agility and precision to create openings and maximize his chances of winning the bout.
You know, it's not being aggressive, because I think that falls into the hands of Shakur. We saw that with the Peta. That's the best I've ever seen Shakur look. I think it's a little bit of both, being athletic aggressive, which Teofimo is. Body shots, ignoring the head. Don't even try to aim at the head. You aim at the shoulders, biceps, and the body. You try to steal rounds, and you try to rough him up. Anytime you do break that distance, which is hard to do, you rough him up. You get your points. Anytime you have a close round, maybe they'll sway your way. What you don't want to do is just be on the outside posturing with a guy like Shakur, because he's going to pick you apart with that style. How I would fight Shakur, I know it's hard to do. Anytime he punches with straight punches, I will punch at his elbows. It's an annoying thing. Every time I fought real tall guys, I will punch at elbows. Do a jump, I will punch here. Boom, boom. Or do it from the left-handed side. Boom. Anytime you throw straight punches, you punch at that elbow. Sooner or later, that starts hurting. Sooner or later, you want to keep those, holstered up. So once you start doing that, punching the elbows, then you need your upper body movement and Duran his ass up. You got to go in there and you got to dig them ropes.
Looking at the matchup, one thing has been very clear. Shakur Stevenson is hailed as a great fighter for a reason, and that's exactly what Jamel Herring admires. Speaking ahead of the highly anticipated January 31st showdown with Teofimo Lopez, Herring offers a unique stylistic breakdown based on his first-hand experience in the ring with Stevenson. He highlights Shakur's strengths, explaining why he sees Stevenson as the favorite, while also acknowledging Teofimo's fighter mentality and the danger he poses if he makes it a real fight.
But then when you got a guy like Teo, which is another good friend of mine, Teo is so elusive, where he has a really good offbeat rhythm. I mean, we seen him in his last fight, Arnold Barbosa. You seen him when he fought Josh Taylor. You seen it when he how he comes out the gate.
Meanwhile, Herring also delves into Teofimo Lopez's attributes, calling him one of the most elusive fighters. He references Lopez's past bouts and advises that he needs to assert himself and bully Shakur Stevenson to secure a victory. Herring highlights ways for Lopez to capitalize on lessons learned from his own fights, noting that despite Lopez's improvements and his only defeat on record, winning won't be easy. Success will require carefully applying his insights about Stevenson while executing his strategy.
But then when you got a guy like Teo, which is another good friend of mine, Teo is so elusive, where he has a really good offbeat rhythm. I mean, we seen him in his last fight, Arnold Barbosa. You seen him when he fought Josh Taylor. You seen it when he how he comes out the gate against Lomachenko, and I believe he has to do that even with Shakur. You gotta basically be the bully, because he's the bigger man. He has to basically put his foot on the gas and step to Shakur. But I think it's a great matchup. It's two real good styles that clash, and for me, I also, despite what people may think, or maybe the one loss on Teofimo's record, I think Teo has improved since the Kambosos fight a lot. And I think it's a great matchup for boxing. I'm actually excited for it.
Advising Teofimo Lopez, Herring emphasizes that he must be cautious not to fall into Shakur Stevenson's game. He highlights how Stevenson excels at turning fights into a strategic chess match, and if Lopez allows himself to be drawn into it, Stevenson could easily gain the upper hand. On the other hand, Herring outlines a game plan for Lopez to leverage his size and speed, stay aggressive, and focus on his own strengths, rather than trying to match Stevenson's style. In his view, Lopez cannot match Stevenson's strategic level, and attempting to do so would leave him vulnerable.
I think he can, but I think he used to mainly use his size and his speed. Teo has a good snap. He has a good snap in his punches, and I don't think he wants to make it too much of a chess match with Shakur, because that's, like you said, that's what Shakur's game. He has good eyes. He can see everything coming. I mean, we see with the Cepeda fight. You got Cepeda. I think Cepeda's issue was he was fighting at the same speed. So, when a fighter picks up your speed and rhythm, and especially if they have great timing, they're gonna pick you apart. So that's what I meant by Teo has that offbeat rhythm and speed, and he has to basically use that size to his advantage. and come out the gate, and he has to step to Shakur early.
Meanwhile, Rolly Romero also shared his thoughts, expressing a strong desire to see Teofimo Lopez win the fight. He believes in Teofimo's skill and track record, pointing out that his resume already speaks volumes about his greatness. In Romero's view, Teofimo would have become undisputed at 140 had Josh Taylor vacated the belt. He expects a focused Teofimo to be a dangerous opponent, sharper and more determined than ever against Shakur Stevenson.
I'd love to see Teo win. Teo's a legend, bro. Teo is a Hall of Fame fighter. At the end of it, bro, in reality, he would have been undisputed at 140, but Josh Taylor had vacated the belt. But regardless, Teo's already an all-time legend, bro. You can't knock Teo. And like at the end of it, bro, who has the better resume between Teo and Shakur?
It would be Teo right now.
By far. Like I said, and I'm not, like I said, we'll see, like I said, like, there's a good, stylistically, people say Shakur is gonna beat him, and like I said, a focused Teo is a dangerous Teo, and I feel like he's been focused.
With the fight eagerly awaited this coming weekend, the stakes have never been higher. Concerns have been raised about both fighters, given that each brings a very distinct style to the ring. Some advise Teofimo Lopez to stay cautious, while others urge him to bully Shakur Stevenson. But the question remains, does Lopez have what it takes to dominate Stevenson? Fans are on the edge of their seats, ready to witness it all on fight night. One thing is clear, this is a highly technical and tactical battle, and any mistake could prove fatal, as the fighter who slips up will likely pay the ultimate price.
Regarding Teofimo, he steps up at the big ones. So I am less inclined to be concerned about the version of Teofimo that's going to turn up on Saturday than I am with Shakur, because Shakur always fights the same way. Low output, brilliant. The art of the game is to hit and not get hit. Shakur Stevenson's the guy. If you're reading a textbook of how to do the hit and not get hit, he's the master of it, right? But does that always lend to a fantastic watch? No, it doesn't. I'm unsure, mate, if I'm honest right now. I don't want to put my flag in the sand and say this is going to be a barn burner, because I'm not convinced that it will be a barn burner. I think it's going to be really tight, really, like I said at the start of this, a thinking man's fight, of which the odd mistake here and there is going to then point you in the direction of who wins it.
Former world champion Regis Prograis isn't holding anything back. After stepping into the ring and trading leather with Shakur Stevenson, Rougarou drops a warning to Teofimo Lopez and fans alike. He breaks down exactly why Stevenson's style is a nightmare, calculated, relentless, and designed to crush an opponent's confidence round by round. Can Lopez handle that mental pressure? Prograis thinks not. This isn't just a fight. It's a chess match with fists, and one wrong move could shatter the takeover completely.
Teo is a real nice fighter. I just say Shakur because I think that with Teo, bro, we just don't know what Teo gonna show up. Like sometimes Teo is mentally, he does shine in big fights. That's one thing about Teo. With Josh Taylor, with Lomachenko, he shine in those big fights and stuff like that. But then sometimes he'll struggle. Of course he lost against Cambosis. All the stuff was going on with Claggett, with Sandor Martin. And he got other people that he kind of struggled with. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that, but Shakur, I think that Shakur could break mentally. I think Shakur could break him. It's like when you're not hitting nobody, you missing, they just tagging you or something, you could break them.
Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez is studying every single Shakur Stevenson fight, breaking down patterns, tendencies, and moments of vulnerability. And he's sending a clear warning. If Shakur ever backs up to the ropes against him, he'll unleash shots so punishing they won't allow him to get back up. Lopez says he's heard all the criticism, all the doubts, and believes now is the perfect moment to show just how prepared he really is. In his eyes, Stevenson is walking straight into danger. Teofimo isn't coming to edge a decision. He's coming to dismantle a legacy. He promises a beating that will leave Shakur with no choice but to embrace the first loss of his professional career.
Yeah, it could have been easily.
The ropes kept him up?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man.
Now, I'm saying if you hit him like that,
he not getting up.
Teeth different.
Just the whole thing. I think it's time. It's time for it to happen, man. It'll be good for him afterwards.
Right.
It'll be good for him.
On the other hand, Shakur Stevenson isn't underestimating what Teofimo Lopez brings to the ring. He's openly acknowledged the skill and power of his opponent, but has warned the world to expect a shock on fight night. January 31st is Judgment Day for fans across the globe, and Stevenson is ready to showcase his absolute best. He believes his game plan, kept under wraps until now, will be revealed in full, and the way he handles Lopez will not only leave everyone speechless, but force them to rethink what it takes to stand up to him.
Nah, he the truth. I understand what I'm getting myself into. I know that he's a great fighter. I believe that I'm the better fighter. So at the end of the day, come January 31st, we're going to find out.
A lot of people, when they talk about their opponents, look to disparage them. You don't want to do that. You call them the truth. You respect them as a fighter. What do you expect about him?
At the end of the day, I'm an honest fighter. I sit down, I watch, and I see who's good and who's not. And when I watch him, I think he's a great fighter. So me being honest with you, that's all cool. But at the end of the day, once again, I will come out victorious.
One of the big narratives surrounding the last fight was the whole Tom and Jerry aspect of it. We're expecting to see you stand in front of Teofimo Lopez. And
I can't tell y'all how I'm going to fight. Why would I tell you? If I tell you, that means I'm telling him. So at the end of the day, it'll be a surprise for him, and just come in on fight night and I'll be ready.
The countdown is on, and fight night is almost here. Teofimo Lopez promises aggression, Shakur Stevenson brings precision, and with insiders like Prograis, Josh Taylor, and Hitchens weighing in, the stakes couldn't be higher. Who will rise and who will fall? Drop your predictions in the comments below, hit that like button if you're ready for fireworks, and don't forget to subscribe to stay locked in for all the fight night breakdowns, as you won't want to miss a second of this action-packed battle.